Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cassie. I'm a 26-year-old stay-at-home mom of 2 and I focus my content around health and wellness, veganism, healthy recipes, and other related topics. We are filming from my car today because that is what is working for me. Today we're going to talk about how and why I went vegan, kind of just the story of how I became vegan. I have been vegan for over 9 years, but the story goes back even further than that. So I'm just gonna hop into this. Probably when I was about 7, I told my mom that I wanted to be a vegetarian and that I did not want to consume meat or fish anymore. And this was about the animals. It wasn't about like taste or anything. My mom pretty much told me that they're not vegetarian, so I'm not gonna be a vegetarian either because that's not the way my mom cooks, and that when I I'm older and I can cook and clean for myself, that I can make that decision if I choose to. I did a few times throughout my childhood before I was able to cook for myself, try to be vegetarian, and obviously it just like didn't really go that well because I didn't know how to cook for myself, and I would, I was little, so things would slip my mind. We go to a baseball game and I'd have a hot dog or something like that, and just kind of slip up, and I didn't really know how to do things. I didn't really have the mindset yet of how to stay vegetarian. So never in my life was I actually vegetarian. I just really wanted to be when I was younger. Flash forward to high school. When I was probably about 16, I decided that I wanted to be gluten-free. Literally for no reason. I, for 10 months, cut out bread and pasta and, any products that had wheat in them. For literally no reason. I didn't feel any different because I don't have a gluten sensitivity or an allergy. But I did it and I was proud that I could do it. This was the age that I was very into YouTube, watching YouTube videos. So I was seeing all these other people's diets and recipes and all that kind of stuff. So shortly after deciding to not be gluten-free anymore, I stumbled across a paleo diet and decided to do that. At this time, I was dating someone who was really into bodybuilding and his whole family was into it. So I decided to be paleo. And I found people on YouTube, I found recipes. I was paleo for about 10 months. I gained 10 pounds. It was probably a decent amount of muscle, if I'm honest, because I was working out a lot. But I also learned towards the end of that time period that I was like severely under eating. So it also could have been my body panicking and deciding to hold on to weight so that it didn't die. There were days that I was eating like under 1,000 calories and I literally had no idea. I was just eating like fruits and vegetables and like meat, which, like, honestly, I don't even understand how it could be paleo, because, paleo's like the caveman diet, but, like, I was eating lunch meat and, like, pepperoni. It wasn't just, like, chicken or steak or something that was, like, straight from the animal. It was, like, still processed food, still processed meats. I don't know, between the meat and the fruits and the vegetables and then, like, some nuts and seeds, I just wasn't getting enough calories, and I didn't realize that until I started using Chronometer, which I stumbled across from another influencer at the time. And I learned that I was eating under 1,000 calories a day most of the time, and I was not okay with that. And so I tried to eat more food after realizing this, and shortly after I decided that paleo wasn't really working for me, I had stumbled across Freely the Banana Girl on YouTube, and this is like a whole mix of things. I stumbled across Freely. Of course, when I was younger, it had already been in my head that I didn't really want to consume animals, so like that never really left. I just it wasn't a priority for me, and it's not what I grew up with, and it wasn't what I was used to. And And then I was also reading The Jungle in my history class, and I was writing a essay on the meat industry. So between like learning in depth about the meat industry to the point where I could write a paper on it, and reading this book, and then discovering Freely, that was like the perfect combination for me. And that's when I decided that I wanted to be vegan. As much as I'd love to say that I went vegan overnight, I didn't. I didn't want to tell my mom because I knew that she would be a little bit nervous about me being vegan, and that she'd be concerned about my B12 and omegas and yada yada yada. So I pretty much decided to like do it myself in secret. I slowly started cutting meat out, and I would just like eat a few bites. Like she'd make something with chicken in it and I'd eat it, but like only a few bites of the chicken, and I'd eat everything else instead. So it was like not even vegetarian, but like I'd eat only 2 bites of the chicken, and I just like just like knowing that I was consuming an animal turned my stomach, and it became very challenging for me. And of course, Freely is and was very high raw. So I was trying to do that while also cutting meat out, and it was, surprise, surprise, was not working out for me because I did not really know how to do it. I was doing everything in secret, so like I didn't have enough ingredients to fuel myself to do raw. And obviously that's a big drastic jump for coming from like a normal standard. Okay, my diet was a little bit healthier, but than like the standard American diet. It was a lot healthier than that. But to jump from like a paleo diet to a raw vegan diet was a really big jump. And it didn't taste that great to my taste buds. Surprise, surprise. So I slowly started just like sneakily making vegan food and cutting out animal products. The last thing to go for me was probably eggs. A year before I went vegan, during my paleo era, I actually became lactose intolerant to the point where like eating any amount of dairy would upset my stomach for like hours on end, completely ruin a day. Between being gluten-free and then paleo and then deciding I wanted to be vegan, being lactose intolerant before I went vegan, Freely, and doing a research paper on the meat industry, that just did it all for me. And I decided like through and through I wanted to be vegan, and I wanted to be vegan in every aspect. So I slowly started cutting meat out and eggs, and yeah, I think it probably took a few weeks, and my mom actually thought that I had like an eating disorder or something because she had no idea why I wasn't eating certain things, and she didn't like realize that I was cutting out meat. So yeah, I went vegan when I was 17, and once my mom knew, she did have a few concerns, but I had told her like I'll go and get a B12 shot, like I'll take B12 vitamins, like whatever would make you more comfortable. And like, this is just a choice that I'm making. I'm very educated on the topic. I've done a lot of research, and I think I know how to do it properly. And if I need help, I'll ask for help. 9 years later, here we are. I am still vegan, still loving my lifestyle, still feeling healthy and strong. Let me know if you have any questions, whether it be about veganism or about my journey to a vegan lifestyle. Thanks for watching, and I'll be making another video next week, which comes out towards the end of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I am very new to YouTube. I came over here from Instagram. So go ahead and leave a comment below of like what kind of content you're into in terms of like, obviously my niche is like health and wellness and veganism, but in terms of like little chats like this, or if you like what I eat in a days, or advice, Q&As, whatever. I think I'm a little new here for a Q&A, but just let me know.